the truth is, I haven't done anything in 3 weeks but walk. Been trying to get healthier, so I've walked like 100 miles in 3 weeks. Yeah, so there's that. But as far as working on trucks, I've got some parts in the mail and bought some stuff, but I haven't done anything.
I'm Johnny Garage Johnson, and this is Hardcore Garage.
One of the most controversial things that I see online right now is pricing of S10s. Probably mini trucks in general, but I just don't pay attention to the other ones, just the S10s. Someone will have a truck for sale for, I don't know, it might be like $7,000 or something like that. And somebody will be like, hey, I bought this one for $500, and it won't be anything even comparable. But I suppose in some people's heads, an S10's an S10. There's always going to be people like that. People didn't think Chevelles and Camaros and Novas and all them things would be worth anything at one time, and we all know better than that now. And there's probably still people out there that don't see any value at all in those cars, or might not see any value in any car for that matter. But me personally, I feel like I got a little more experience than some. I'm sure there's people out there that have a lot more than I got and have had a lot more than I've got and are doing a lot more than what I do. But as far as my experience with buying and selling S10s in our current market, to me, a running S10 that is not a rust bucket is worth $5,000 easy, at least in our area. I don't even really want to comment on ones that are less than that. That to me, in my instance, is kind of my jump off point. I'm not the type that's going to go out there and buy somebody's truck that's already completely done, bagged, whatever, mainly because I always feel like I'm buying somebody else's headaches when I do things like that. We're not talking cover trucks and magazine trucks and really super nice things like that. That's a whole different level. Just your basic S10, your across the board, we'll just call it that. And my basic might be different than yours. So, but I think from there, 5,000. When you start getting adding low mileage, is the truck super nice, original paint? All those things can bring the value up, at least to me. I want 4.3 auto, AC, cruise control. Power windows is nice, but it's not a necessity. The others are pretty much a necessity as far as I'm concerned. And I don't really have an issue with a $10,000 S10 that has, those criteria. You compare that to the price of a new car nowadays, and it's just insane. So, it's not uncommon to pay $100,000 for a new pickup truck. So, $10,000 for a nice S10 that's laid out with all the options and low mileage is a pretty damn good deal, if you ask me. Now, on top of that, I think you can go to the extreme to, as far as for a regular S10 anyway, not a GT or some Cyclone, Typhoon, Cameo. Cameos maybe a little bit more. I don't even really want to talk about that right now, but I think that just a low mileage truck with all those criteria being met, you're talking $20,000 to $25,000 nowadays. Not all of them, but to me, that's where I see the value at right now. So you can either keep that in mind or call me crazy or whatever you want to do, but I don't know. I saw the value in S10s. I have for years, is why I hoard the parts and buy trucks and sell the trucks or whatever, and not that I'm a flipper, because that's not it at all. But the minute that somebody sees more value than what you see in something you have, I think that you let it go. If somebody proves they like something more than I do, then take it. I mean, more power to you, dude. I appreciate the heck out of you loving something more than I do. So that's just the way it is for me on that front anyway. I guess if you want to just talk about the two trucks behind me, the 89 D90, I'm just guessing. I think it has probably in the area of about 140,000 miles. I would have a hard time getting rid of that truck. It's all power, everything that I mentioned. It does have the power windows, AC, cruise, all that, and it all works. The only thing that has that I don't like is an aftermarket radio. That truck to me is 15K all day long. And it even has rust. And there might not be people that agree with that, but it is what it is. Very, very little rust on that truck. Surface rust mainly. Interior is mint. Dash is mint. My cat is back there in the back jumping on them if you can't see that. But yeah, so that's where I would be if I was, if somebody was trying to sell me a truck similar to that. I'm not, that would be my top out, probably would be about 15. The Cameo is probably in that same range. Just because, it definitely doesn't have the body that this one does, and it has no rust on it, but it basically has dings and dents on every single panel on the thing, like every single panel. So it's kind of like the fun one to drive because you don't have to worry about where you park it or leaning against it or sitting your can of pop or beer or whatever on the hood, on the fender. Doesn't matter on this truck. So it's really, really fun to drive. Has a lot of engine and transmission modifications. Very nice interior minus the dash. Has that dash cap on it. And it is a complete Cameo. Even has the tailgate trim. 4.3 auto. AC, does not have cruise, has power windows, has the C.R. Lawrence power light back window, the limo style back window. So to me, I would never part with that truck for less than 15,000. Now, I probably wouldn't buy another one in that exact shape for that amount. For me anyway, because I already have one. I try to, get different things as often as possible, but one of the things that seems to happen is when we are in the market to try to buy something, all I can find is red. When I wanted a second gen for a work truck, all I could find was maroon and pewter, or I think I seen some red ones too, but yeah, there's all of a red tone. So I'm full on red for now. Don't want no more red trucks, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't get another red truck if one came around. Hi, puppy dogs. Hi, puppy dogs. How are you guys? How are you guys? No. Hey, be careful. Silly dog. There's a cat in there. Oh, no, she's right behind me. She's done walking all over my shit. So, there you go. My evaluations of some truck value. When I'm looking at a truck, you can look at the body first, obviously, and if it's got a nice body, you're gonna put a value on that number, or a number on that as value. And I don't know what that would be. I guess for what would somebody pay for a perfect non-rusty S10? Let's just say it's completely gutted. What would you pay for the body on a rolling chassis? That's tough. That's tough, man. I guess I know you can still get body panels, so that I've never really thought of that. What do I consider? Like a hood, an S10 hood to me is worth $200 if it's not rusty. Factory paint. Fenders, $100 maybe a little bit more if you're talking about with the liners and stuff like that. Doors, probably $200 for manual, maybe $300 a piece for power doors if all the stuff was in them and they're in nice shape. Glass included and all that stuff. Beds, man, I've sold beds anywhere from a couple $100 that had some rust to $800 with, you know, some minor dings and dents. So I think a really nice bed is probably in the neighborhood of about $1,000 for something with no rust, factory, nice paint, you know, no dents, no dented in the bed floor. We're going to have to go up from there. Far as like frames, chassis, rolling chassis, $600 to $800, depending on if you got wheels or don't have wheels. Interiors, though, that, you know, as soon as you find a decent, I mean, yeah, it's hard for me to say mint because mint means uncirculated in like the collector's world, but y'all know what I'm saying. When I'm saying mint means no cracks, looks damn near new. A dash like that in a used truck is that's $1,000 easy, guys. I know some people be like, oh, I bought this dash for $60, and that's awesome. If you're buying dashes for $60 and you're not out there selling them for $1,000, you're an idiot. Or maybe you're hooking people up. I don't want to call you an idiot, but that's the way that some people make their money, you know what I mean, is buying and selling things, and I'm not going to hate on those at all. Any kind of hustle that you have that keeps you from punching the time clock or having to work 8 hours a day for somebody else deciding when you eat lunch and when you go home, that's awesome. I'm all for that. So do your thing. Seats, you know, a couple $100 a piece if they're nice, I would say right now. You know, carpet, I would go $100 and up on carpet. Door panels, same, $100 and up. Headliners are probably pretty valuable right now. If you find a good headliner, you might consider going $200 or higher on something like that. Window glass, that's a tough one, man. $50 to $100. It's, you know, you can still find that stuff. Maybe not original GM, or if they're you know, tinted back windows or something like that. The bronze tint rear windows, I would, you know, $100 and up on those, possibly $200 and up. But there's I mean, every little piece of an S10 somebody wants. Now, whether or not you decide to capitalize on that, again, if that's your hustle, then perfect. If you're out there just trying to help people build S10s, that's great too. And I kind of go both ways. You know, you can ask around. There's been people that I just give shit to. I think that they need it, and it's something that I've already made my money on, or I don't need to make money on. Maybe I got it for free and I'm just passing it on. That's just the way it goes. But there are some things that, because I have several S10s, it's silly for me to get rid of something that I might need in the future for cheap. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff's relevant. S10 wheels, man, that's a good one too. I would say I wouldn't go below $200 on any set of wheels ever. I mean, you know, stock rally 14s, 15s, swirly, you know, any of the second gen wheels, those should all be in the $200 and up range. Got good tires, you can go up from there. So, you know, what else do we have? If you guys have any questions about, you know, things, what you think I would value something as, I'll usually tell you. I don't have no problem with that, but you have to realize that I'm giving you Ohio, the Rust Belt prices. So my prices are probably going to be higher than Florida or Georgia or California, someplace, Texas, where there's not a whole lot of rust. And that's where those awesome patina trucks come from, where the sun has just baked the crap out of the paint. But maybe, you know, maybe sand from the desert or whatever has kind of beat the paint off, so there is a little bit of rust on it, surface rust, but not, you know, nothing like you find around here. You're like missing all the body mounts, holes in the quarter panels, bottoms of the doors are rusted out, the tailgate bottom lip's gone. I mean, there's my 93, the 03 even, the outsides look pretty good, and you crawl up under and you're like, what the heck, did they park this in the ocean? So every bit of that is relevant to trying to price S10 parts. Just keep that in mind if you're buying, selling, whatever. Hopefully that helped some of you, maybe upset some of you. I know a lot of people wish that things would stay cheap so they can get what they want to get when they need it and stuff. But that's just not where we're at right now, at least in this area, in this time frame, guys. So y'all take it easy. Have a great weekend. Get out there and do something fun. Keep on trucking. She's got the 15-inch rallies that were on the GT originally. Still need to put a different set of wheels on it. And that one has the rallies that came on. I don't know, those aren't called rallies, are they? Or the other one's not called rally. I don't know. Cinder caps are off because we've lost 2 already, and I've got a whole brand new set of 4 again, and I don't want to lose them until we figure out what we're going to do, or maybe even switch the wheels completely on that truck. Dad doesn't really seem to like those, and we're looking at some options.